Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We have Rashonda Gray. If you have questions, please raise your hand. We'll start with Erica Ayala.
Hey y'all, what's poppin'?
Hey sis, good to see you again.
They can't keep a pimp down for too long.
And actually, that's what I want to ask you about. This year in particular, we've seen a lot of players like yourself come in and out of different rosters. It's not new to the WNBA, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on if you see a difference this season in particular.
You know, rolling off of last year, last year was a complete different season. So this year, we don't know what to expect. So I'm just going into the season open-minded, keeping my faith alive, staying ready. So when I do get the call, but just staying ready for when my name is called and being ready to step up to the plate.
And what would you say to other athletes that, are trying to make the 144? What has sustained you and made you a player that when your number is called, that you're ready to go?
That's a good question. For other players who's waiting for the opportunity in the 144, I would just have to say, you got to believe in yourself. You got to know your worth. I'm big on faith. So I pray to God every day. If it's for me, it's for me. And I understand that he has a purpose for me and everything will line up with itself. So just always keep faith and just know your worth. And even if you don't make this opportunity, there's still another door that's going to be open for you.
Amen to that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Rashonda, thank you for joining us. It's great to see you again. And, what stands out to you about this squad and what made now the perfect time for a New York Rashonda Gray reunion?
Wow. When I first came here, I said that this team is pretty special. You got a mixture of a little bit of vets and young, but I just say the vibe and energy, you can just walk into the gym or just look from afar and just feel like they have great energy. And I'm all about energy and I'm all about giving and positive vibes. And I feel like this team is a great fit for me. And I feel like I fit right in considering I'm officially now a vet. But I think it's pretty awesome that they're so precious at this point that when I come in, I want to continue to leave a great mark on them about a team chemistry and a team vibe. So I just love the energy of this team and I think they're going to do a lot of great things, whether I'm with them or not, but I'm happy to be with them, but there's something special.
My apologies, but what do you think you can bring to sort of foster that energy further? What do you bring off the court to foster that energy and what can you bring on the court that can hopefully get this team out of the 3-game slide they're enduring?
I would definitely have to say for me, on and off the court, just that family environment. I'm big on family. I believe that whether we have good games or we have bad games, at the end of the day, we're still a family. We're still going to be here for each other. But me being a vet, I've been on teams as championship teams and I've been on teams that haven't been so great. So for me, my job is to try to keep them level head and just let them know that rainy days don't last forever. And at the end of a rainy day is always a rainbow. So I always just try to keep them to keep telling them to be positive and we're going to bounce back.
Appreciate your time and insight. Welcome back.
No problem. Thank you.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Jackie, girl. How you doing?
I am all right. I am so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see that the purple is back.
You see me? Shout out to Gray Salon.
It's not Rashonda Gray without purple.
Thank you. I was trying to tell them that. They was like, man, you got LA colors, West. I was like, why can I not just like purple? It means royalty. It means wisdom. What's wrong with that?
Oh, yeah. So it must be quite different now that you're able to get some solid practice time this week, unlike that first week of the season where it was like, okay, you come in, you get the COVID tests, and now you're on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you and the coaching staff been working on in particular to make sure that, you're going in ready and less cold turkey by the time we get to Sunday?
Well, just being a professional athlete, I feel like whether I got picked up by New York or not, I always had to stay ready. And I also always have to work on my game and just do what I do best. And I feel like that's running the floor, bringing the energy, and just being aggressive. So that's something that I automatically been working on outside of being here in New York. So when I came in, I can kind of sort of jump right back in. But not only that, the style of play this year is something that I love. I love running the floor. I love like giving great energy. Like I love looking for my shooters. I love being dominant and crashing the floor. So it was kind of like a smooth transition for me.
I love it. I also want to ask you about the Nets game last night. That was, I mean, Jasmine Jones had a moment with Bradley Cooper.
You see her? Oh my God, I'm so proud of Jazz. And she won the dance contest.
She did indeed.
Yes.
So I'm curious as to, so a couple things here. I want to know, how safe did you feel like it felt with the amount of people that were in there? Because we hope that more fans can be present at WNBA games soon.
For me, I felt pretty safe, considering that everyone who attended the game was fully vaccinated, which is always a great start, from one. And secondly, with you being, well, with us having our seats so low, we was required to wear a mask the whole time.
Right.
So I thought that was like another really important thing. And if you even had the mask halfway on your nose, they're telling you to pull it back up. So I think they did a really good job with safety protocols, and I felt pretty safe.
That's fabulous. And the last one from me, sorry to hold you for so long.
No, you're good, girl. Take your time.
Going back to the Bradley Cooper moment, and then this morning we saw Drake in the orange hoodie.
Yes.
So how close do you think we are to having artists and actors, you know, be really present and passionate fans of the WNBA? Like, are we close to seeing them consistently do these types of things?
I must definitely say that we have gotten really close, like so much improvement already from the Kobe Bryant. Now we've seen Steph Curry. Now we've seen other players wearing WNBA jerseys or wearing the orange hoodies. And to see Drake, I mean, Drake always been like a women's fan, but to see him actually do it, I think that's a great step. And I think we're moving in a direction. I feel like we're going to continue to move in that great direction.
Fabulous. Great to see you.
You too. Take care, Jackie.
Yeah, take care.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Rashonda. Miles Ehrlich with Nets Republic, Winsider, and Queen Ballers Club.
Oh, hey.
So the Liberty, it's great to see you back and to have you back, but there's a tough schedule upcoming. They brought you back just in time for Phoenix and a couple of games with Vegas. You've talked a little bit about your aggressiveness and about how you run the floor, and the team needs you in the front court right now. Mm-hmm. That's what we saw against Indiana, especially in those first couple of games, is you beat Tierra McCowan back down the floor a couple of times. Is that the kind of energy that you think you can bring every moment you're out there to just help on both ends of the floor, rebound, run out like that?
Happy Pride Month.
Of course. I feel like that's something that I can consistently bring. But not only that, like I said, it's a team effort. I feel like it was times where when I was watching the Las Vegas and New York game, it was times where New York was that much closer to having Vegas, but they just needed a little more. And I feel like I can bring that to the team and just keep them level-headed and just let them know, like, every time, every possession, you got to bring it all day, every day. And me being a vet, like, I played against these players a lot in college, a lot in the league. So I kind of know what they're going to bring. So our job is just to come together as a team and do it together better than just doing it individually.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll come back.
Thank you. Thank you for my pictures too. I appreciate you.
Last question, Christian. I don't want to mess up your last name, so help me out.
Yeah, hi. This is Christian Charisma of Nets Republic. Rashonda, welcome back. I won't be too long here with this question. I just really want to kind of touch on with any pro sports league, there's always more people trying to get a spot than those that already have a spot. What are the challenges that come with the roster turnover that you've been experiencing? And on the flip side, if you're going to be in this type of situation, does it help to be, headed back into an environment you've experienced prior success in and you have that familiarity?
Okay, so that was a lot. Okay, let's break this down. So my path is, I feel like I had quite some path. I've been on teams, I've been waived. I played full years, I've been waived again, I've been picked up on hardships and stuff like that. So I had quite sometime throughout the league. But one thing for me is, you got to know what you bring. You got to know your self-worth. And I feel like my energy, my personality on and off the court is something that's unmatched. And that's something that I continue just to work on. So I feel like that's something that sets me apart from everybody else. But not only that, I just think I'm a hard worker. Like, I'm a working horse. I bring it every day, all day, 24/7. So that's something that I do. And far as other people just trying to get back into the league or just figure it out, I will just always say, find something that separates you from everybody else. And what's for you is meant for you. And it may not be that time, but that doesn't mean that you give up.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you, Christian.
Great. Thank you, Rashonda. Next up, we have Benijah Laney.
Bye, y'all. Peace out.
Please raise your hands if you have questions for Benijah. First question, Erica Ayala.
Thanks, Benijah. Erica Ayala here today representing the New York Times. I know you've talked about this before, so just bear with me here. But we just spoke with Rashonda. She's someone that has come in and out of the league and is doing so again for New York. You've experienced that in your own way. Can you talk about how you approach or did approach making a roster and being a part of the 144?
I think just, being me, just not getting outside of myself, just knowing what I had to offer and bring that to any situation that I was in. And eventually, I found myself with a team that saw value in everything that I had to offer and used me to my full potential. And that's how I got to where I am now.
And I would also like to ask, if you'll indulge me, a lot of people talk about expansion. Of course, with expansion, there's conversations about increasing salary. But I wonder if you've also given thought to maybe a way to provide more opportunities is to do something like what we see in baseball and maybe have deeper rosters, or more specifically, an injured reserve where you have a pool of players that is accessible as opposed to them kind of coming in and out on, whatever the given situation is.
Do I think that that's something that we should have, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great to have, players, because that provides, more opportunities, just a pool that, different teams can pull from to bring players in for whatever situation, they may be needed for.
Thank you.
Chantel Jennings.
Hey, Benijah, thank you so much for your time today. Question for you a little bit about the scheduling. This year with COVID, a lot of teams are playing, sort of like double headers back to back against the same opponent. You guys obviously started the year with Indiana. I'm curious, as a player, as a competitor, is that something you like? And as a team that sort of has a new makeup this season, does that benefit you guys being able to sort of make those second day adjustments in between those two games and then run it back a second time?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's not something that we're used to, but I think we can definitely use it to our benefit. Playing a team that we just played, it's easier to make those adjustments from one day to the next, as opposed to, playing them early on in the year and then not seeing them again until later. You kind of know what you're getting. So it's a little bit easier for you to make those, game time adjustments during that next game.
Brittany Sykes had kind of said it has this like playoff mentality feel, and it raises the stakes a little bit, and that it can be sort of a preparer for teams. Do you feel like this could be a benefit for New York this year?
Yeah, like I said, it allows us to make those adjustments, and it does have that, playoff kind of feel. So it can definitely work in our benefit to be able to, turn around and, see what didn't work well and try and improve that for the next game. Just that quick turnaround. So I think that's definitely something that we can benefit from.
Cool. Thank you.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Naja, thank you for joining us today. Always great to speak with you. So, what's been the team atmosphere like? Like, what was the team atmosphere like in practice today? Was there that usual energy, especially with this time off? And how confident are you that you guys will be able to bounce back after not only some time off, but coming off a rough slate of games as well?
Yeah, no, surprisingly, it's been really good. Our energy hasn't changed. You wouldn't know whether, we had a day off. You wouldn't know whether we just lost, whether we just won. And that's what I really love about this team as well, is just the consistent energy that we bring each and every day, regardless of, what's happened. We kind of, it happened. We need to learn from it. But, at the same time, that's in the past, and we need to move forward and focus on what's in front of us. We don't sit around and, our energy is always the same. It's always high.
And this 8-day break comes at an interesting point on the 2021 timeline, in the sense that we're about a quarter of the way through your first season here in New York. So, if you could give a bit of a self-assessment, if you're comfortable, of course, what have been your impressions of New York? Do you think you've lived up to the expectations that they bestowed upon you? And what can be better, and what have you enjoyed most? I understand that's a lot, so answer whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that, it's been great. Like, I've loved every bit of New York, the good, the bad, everything that comes with it, because I see a bright future in us. As far as myself, I think that I've definitely been living up, to it. I always have room for improvement, and that's my thing. So to continue to just do each and everything that they've asked of me, but understand that, I'm not done. I'm not where I need to be, for myself, for my team yet, but to just continue to take it little by little, just to keep making, little improvements, and continue to grow, over the course of the season, individually. But can you repeat that last part again? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sure. Like, what have been your impressions with the team, and do you feel you've lived up to their expectations, and has the team lived up to your expectations you set upon when you signed with them?
Yes, I think that I've, been living up to that, but the team as well has been living up to, to the expectations that I thought I would be coming into, when I signed with New York. We've been great regardless of the situation. I think that, we fight, and we fight hard. And I think that, even though these past couple games haven't landed in our favor, that it's still things that we can learn from, and we'll just be better for it, when we see these teams again, or we face similar circumstances.
Appreciate your time and insight. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Benaja, good to talk to you. So, Walt talked about after the game on Saturday night that right now it's all about you guys figuring out the next chess move to make in this coming week. As your latest opponents have made one on the Liberty. They've noticed how good you guys are. So what does that next move consist of? And how have you all been looking at how you handle pressure while on offense?
Yeah, these games, like I said, they didn't go in our favor, but there's a lot to take from it, both good and bad. So right now we've just been focusing on what's been working for us, but at the same time, trying to make adjustments, because we know that teams, they look at us differently now. So they're going to try and, mix things up and throw a bunch of different things at us. And it's, how are we going to adjust to that? So that's our focus for this week, trying to adjust to, that pressure, just making sure that we're making the right reads, and, doing everything that we have to do to handle it. And, I think that, once we're in those situations again, we have a big breakdown where we have the time to actually work on it. It's been hard having the back-to-back games and maybe, 1-2 days in between. But right now, I think that, we're doing a really good job. Our coaches are doing a really good job of preparing us for, those similar situations that we've seen that we may not have handled the way that we needed to, and that will just be better for it in these upcoming games.
Fantastic. So also I wanted to ask you a bit about the Nets game that it looks like everyone was at.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine Jones had a moment with Bradley Cooper, and Beyonce was at the first Nets game, and I know you love her. I've watched some videos of you and Courtney Williams talking about who's Beyonce and who is not, or she's Michelle Williams. I don't even know. So what I want to know from you is, what do you think it will take to get Beyonce back in a seat at Barclays for a Liberty game? So, I mean, you could have your geek out moment.
Man, if Beyonce was to come to again, I don't know, we might have to, put some PR work on that. I might have to, go out and recruit her a little bit, do some PR work of my own and try and get her in. And we just, keep trying to get her. But if we could have been at that first game with Beyonce, that would have been awesome. That would have made my life. But regardless of that, it was a really good opportunity for her. I know that she loves Bradley Cooper, so I know she was stoked about that. But in the meantime, we'll just keep playing our games, and hopefully we can get Beyonce back in the building.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Benaja. I just got off the Connecticut Sun Zoom where Kurt Miller said that this season is more like the bubble season last year, but on steroids, because the travel is added on to a schedule that's already so tight. And you guys have had a really tough schedule where it was like every other day for the first 2 weeks, and now these long breaks, and now you're about to embark on a 5-game road trip with 6 out of 7 in like 15 days or something like that. Just how do you stay ready with this difficult schedule, and just how much of a struggle has this been in comparison to some other seasons where they are more spaced out without the Olympic break and things like that?
It's definitely been different, having the travel with a more compact season. But I think the only thing that we can do about it, is to just stay focused, not worry about that, not worry about the things that we can't control, but just the things that we can. We can control what we're putting into our bodies. We can control the treatment and maintenance that we're doing to feel our best. So right now, that's just our focus, making sure that we're staying sharp, on those days where we might need more of a physical rest, but, just making sure that we're always mentally tuned in. So it's just about right now, it's just about the preparation. And like I said, just making sure that we're doing all the things that we can control, and, just being our best, doing what we know we need to do, listening to our bodies to, have the best possible outcome.
Thanks so much.
Last question, Christian Charisma.
Hi, Benaja. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. You've been able to improve your field goal percentage and maintain your 3-point percentage while increasing your scoring. Combined with the 20-point streak you were on, it's resulted in teams overloading, denying, and trying to make it more difficult for you to even get the ball. As a competitor, does it feel good to have all this extra attention from the defense? I'm sure it reminds you a bit of your Rutgers days, or even maybe back in high school.
It does, show me that I've improved, and that teams are respecting me a lot more, and that they see something in me. So I just gotta, keep working, trying to figure out ways around it. Keep getting my teammates involved in everything. And, as long as I'm doing my job and we're all doing our job, we'll try and not to allow it to phase us too much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, B. Thanks you all for joining. We'll send the recording shortly.